Madrona is a firm that really truly rolls up their sleeves and is focused on helping entrepreneurs build companies. The first company, Isilon, that you mentioned that I was the founder of, that company was founded when I was 26 years old. I barely was out of diapers. I didn't know anything. And I met a very, very young Matt McElwain who had just joined Madrona the year before. And one of the things I was struck with really early was that Matt was the sort of guy who would roll up his sleeves. He would figure out, what do you need? How can I help you in this particular circumstance? And at every single turn, he was someone who was there to give you advice, to help nurture you, to give you the positive feedback. And I find that, back then, I think that was something that defined great venture capitalists. Today, I think it's something that's pretty rare.
Yeah. When you look at the impact of Madrona going beyond just the portfolio companies into the greater Northwest tech ecosystem, could you just talk a little bit about that and the impact Madrona's had beyond just the portfolio companies and the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I think that Madrona's impact citywide and statewide and really across the tech industry is a little bit misunderstood and not quite as people don't recognize as significant as is. Madrona's invested in a lot of companies that have been very successful. Many of those companies have many founders that came out of it. I think the last time I counted, there were 15 founders that came out of Isilon, which was my first company. I don't have any yet out of Nautilus, but I'm sure that I will. And so really there's this network effect that occurs as Madrona invests in a company and really partners with entrepreneurs to grow them. And, I think one of the things that's really exciting is, in addition to that, I think a number of Madrona partners take significant roles in helping our community outside of just investing in a company. Take Matt McElwain, for example. Matt McElwain is deeply invested in the politics of our city, helping focus on education, helping focus on policies that help grow companies. He's deeply embedded in our nonprofit space here in Washington, focused in areas of medical research. He was on the board of the Fred Hutch for a long time. And I think those sorts of things really benefit the communities in ways that I think people don't even realize.
Looking back at that 20 plus year of work with Madrona, is there one moment that stands out to you that really exemplifies how the firm has worked with you as an entrepreneur?
One moment is always really tough, right? I think over decades, there's a lot of moments. What I would say is that I would always highlight on moments where there's stress and there's really something going wrong. And, like any entrepreneurial journey, Isilon had a very, very tough time, which was concurrent with some really bad performance as a public company and me taking the CEO role after having vacated it for 3 years. And
I remember covering these stories.
Yes, and it was a very tumultuous time. Our stock went from something like the high 20s to a single digit $1.83 at its low. And one of the things that really was helpful to me was the support of Matt in particular, but the Madrona partnership in general, in taking the CEO role and really giving me the space and time to put a plan forward that would turn the company around and get it on the right track. And even that journey wasn't a linear journey. We started making good progress. We ran into the financial crisis, which was led by Lehman Monday. We had a downturn. We did a layoff. But all through that, Madrona and Matt in particular gave me solid advice. They were supportive, encouraging. And at the end of that process, we had a cash flow positive business. We have a business that reaccelerated to 100% year-over-year growth on very big numbers. So $100 million quarter, not year, $100 million quarter. And then we sold it for a really successful outcome for all of us and for Madrona. And so, I think that those are the types of things that stick in my mind. It's like, Madrona's there for you.
Yeah. And looking back, we've had 30 years of Madrona operating in this community. Looking ahead, what do you think is Madrona's future?
Madrona's future, that's a great question. I think Madrona's future is pretty bright because I feel like there continues to be an incredible amount of tech and biotech talent in the state of Washington. I think that there continues to be a lot of excitement around spaces like AI, and Madrona, with their presence in the Bay Area and with the acceleration funds, continues to invest in those types of areas. I think there's a lot to do. And even with as many people are in venture capital, as much capital has been committed to this category, Madrona's got experience. They've got that special spark that really lets them partner with investors in a way that I don't see very commonly today, which is it's a little sad from an entrepreneur perspective, but they've got that spark still. They've got that entrepreneurial instinct. And I think that'll serve them well in the next 30.
Well, Sujal Patel, founder and CEO of Nautilus Biotechnology, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, John, for having me.